जय संस्कार. Reproduction in human beings. Since it is a part of our syllabus, we will not get hesitated towards the word or whatever the thing we need to require to study it. Okay, it is very important for you guys to understand how your body is made up. Okay, there are certain changes which occur in humans during the age of puberty. So far we have been discussing variety of mode of different species use for reproduction. Let us now look at the species that we are most interested in, namely humans. Humans use sexual mode of reproduction. How does this process work? Let us begin at an apparently unrelated point. All of us know that our body changes as we become older. નાના હતા ત્યારે બહુ નાની સાઇઝ હતી, ધીમે ધીમે બોડી જે છે એ ગ્રો થવા માંડી. Okay, you have learned changes that take place in our body. Earlier in chapter 8 also, 7 also, we noticed that our height has increased continuously from early age till now. આપણી હાઇટ જે છે એ કન્ટિન્યુઅસલી ગ્રો થતી ગઈ. સો ગોઝ વિથ ઓર્ગન્સ. ઓકે, જેમ કે આપણું બોડી જેમ મોટું થયું તો આંખ કાન નાના નાના ન રહી ગયા, એ પણ સાથે ગ્રો થયા. સો દેર ઇઝ ગ્રોથ. We acquire teeth, even lose the old and so-called milk tooth and acquire new ones. નાના હતા ત્યારે એવું થયું કે એક વખત આપણે દાંત આવ્યા જેને મિલ્ક ટૂથ કહેતા હતા, એ આવ્યા અને પાછા એક પછી એક વળી પાછા પડી ગયા અને નવા પરમનન્ટ ટીથ જે આપણી પાસે છે. All of these are changes that can be grouped under general process of growth, in which the body becomes larger. But in early teenage year, a whole new set of change occur that cannot be simply explained as a body enlargement. ખાલી બોડીની સાઇઝ જે છે એ ઇન્ક્રીઝ થઈ એવું કહી શકાય નહીં. એવા સર્ટેન ચેન્જીસ ટીન એજ પીરિયડ જે છે એ દરમિયાન ઓબ્ઝર્વ કરવામાં આવે. Instead, the appearance of body changes, proportion changes, new feature appears and so do new sensation. ખાલી બોડી જે છે હવે ઇન્ક્રીઝ નથી થતી, બોડીના ડિફરન્ટ ઓર્ગન્સનું જે પ્રપોર્શન જે છે એ ચેન્જ થાય છે અને therefore નવા નવા ફીચર્સ જે છે એ બોડીની અંદર જનરેટ થાય છે. and therefore we observe certain more sensation in our body. Some of these changes are common to both boys and girls. We begin to notice thick hair growth in new part of the body such as armpit, genital area and between the thighs, which can also become darker in color. Thinner hair can also appear on legs and arms as well as on the face. The skin frequently becomes oily and we might begin to develop pimples. We begin to be conscious and aware of both our own bodies and those of others in new ways. So, there are certain changes which are common in boys as well as girls. Like there is a growth of hair, dark hair growth in armpits, in the genital area, the area between the thighs. So, okay, and people become more aware about their own body and of the opposite gender's body. On the other hand, there are also changes taken place that are different between boys and girls. In girls, breast size begin to increase with darkening of the skin of the nipples at the tip of the breast. Also, girl begin to menstruate At around this time, boys began to have a new thick hair growth on the face and their voice began to crack. Further, the penis occasionally begins to become enlarged and erect, either in daydream or at night. So these are the features which are observed in girls and boys which are not common. All of these changes take place slowly over a period of months and years. They do not happen all at the same time in one person, nor do quickly, while in others they can happen slowly. Also, each change does not become complete quickly either. So, for example, thick hair on the face in boys appear in few scattered hair first, and only slowly does the growth begin to become uniform. Even so, all these changes show difference between people. Just as we have differently shaped nose or fingers, so also we have different pattern of hair growth or size and shape of breast or penis or penis. All of these changes are aspect of sexual maturation of the body. Body જે છે એ મેચ્યોર થઈ છે, મતલબ body is able to reproduce. That is not necessity કે જે ટાઈમે તમે તમારા બોડીની અંદર આ secondary sexual changes જુઓ, that doesn't mean you are ready for sexual act, but it shows that your body is growing in that particular way. જેમ તમારી height જે matter of concern હતી, same way after certain age તમારા બોડીની અંદર secondary sexual changes બી important છે. આ changes જે છે it could not happen suddenly, તરત ન થઈ જાય. It requires lots of time and gradually growth જે છે એ observe કરવામાં આવે. That doesn't count કે કેટલું hair growth વધારે છે, that means something better or not. તો આપણી જેમ ફિંગર્સની લેન્થ જે છે દરેક પર્સન ટુ પર્સન ડિફરન્ટ છે, થિકનેસ જે ડિફરન્ટ છે, color different. So similarly, there is a different growth of hairs and other thing in different persons. Why does the body show sexual maturation at this age? We have talked about the need of specialized cell type in multicellular bodies to carry out specialized function. The creation of germ cell to participate in sexual reproduction is another specialized function, and we have seen that plant developed special cell and tissue type to create them. Human beings also develop special tissue for this purpose. However, while the body of an individual organism is growing to its adult size, the resources of body are mainly directed to achieve this growth. While that is happening, maturation of reproductive tissue is not likely to be a major priority. જ્યારે બોડી ગ્રો થતું હોય ત્યારે રિપ્રોડક્ટિવ ઓર્ગન્સ જે છે એનો ગ્રોથને પ્રાયોરિટી ના હોય, પ્રાયોરિટી હોય બોડી જે છે એના ગ્રોથને. Thus, as the rate of general body growth began to slow down, reproductive tissue began to mature. This period during adolescence is called puberty. આ time period ને કહેવાય puberty. So, how do all the changes that we have talked about link to the reproductive process? We must remember that sexual mode of reproduction means germ cell from two individuals have to join together. બે germ cells છે એમને એકબીજા સાથે કનેક્ટ જોઈન થવું જરૂરી છે. This can happen by external release of germ cell from the bodies of individual as happens in flowering plant, or it can happen by two individuals joining their body together for internal transfer of germ cell for the fusion, as happen in many animals. If the animals are to participate in this process of mating, their state of sexual maturity must be identified by other individual. Many changes during puberty, such as new hair growth pattern, are signal that such sexual maturation is taking place. So, ફ્લાવરની અંદર જેમ આપણે વાત કરી પોલન ગ્રેઇન જે છે એ ઓવા સુધી રીચ કરે then only fertilization can occur. So same way હ્યુમન્સની અંદર ઓપોઝિટ સેક્સને આઈડિયા તો હોવું જોઈએ કે બોડી ઇઝ મેચ્યોર્ડ ઓર નોટ. If we look similar as we are kid and now, then there is no difference on the basis of which another person can say that particular guy or girl is in puberty stage or not. Therefore, it would be difficult to know whether the next person has a fully developed organs or not. On the other hand, actual transfer of germ cell between two people needs special organ for sexual acts, such as penis, when it is capable of becoming erect. In mammal such as human, the baby is carried in mother's body for a long period and will be breastfed later. Female reproductive organs and breast will need to mature to accommodate these possibilities. Let us look at the system involved in this process of sexual reproduction. Now we will study about the process which is being happen during sexual reproduction. Okay, so mammals ની વાત કરીએ તો લાઈક કાફ છે, કાઉનું બેબી કાફ છે કે ડિયરનું બેબી ડિયર છે, તો એ મધરના વોમ્બની અંદર ગ્રો થાય, પછી બર્થ થાય અને પછી મધરના મિલ્ક થ્રુ એનો ગ્રોથ જે છે એ ફર્ધર પોસિબલ હોય. તરત જ એ ઘાસ ખાવાનું સ્ટાર્ટ ન કરે હે ને કાફ. So this dependence is seen in human being also. Therefore, body has to be designed or be prepared for the future need of reproduction. So therefore, there is a secondary changes which are necessity for any adult. Male reproductive system. Over here there is a diagram which is given to you of male reproductive system. The male reproductive system consists of portions which produce germ cell and other portions that deliver germ cell to the site of fertilization. So this is the first point of your answer. First is an organ which is producing germ cell and another organs which are transferring this particular germ cell to the site of fertilization. First point. Second point, formation of germ cell or sperms take place in testes. ટેસ્ટીસ કરીને ઓર્ગન છે, અહીંયા તમને બતાવવામાં આવ્યું છે. આ ઓર્ગન છે જ્યાં સ્પર્મ્સ જે છે એ ફોર્મ થાય. There are located outside the abdominal cavity or in scrotum because sperm formation requires a lower temperature than the normal body temperature. Normal body નું temperature 37 degrees consider કરીએ કે એનાથી lower consider કરીએ, but એના કરતાં 3 or 4 degrees lower temperature required છે sperm formation માટે. We have discussed the role of the testes in secretion of hormone testosterone in previous chapter. In addition to regulating formation of sperm, testosterone bring out change in appearance seen in boys at the time of puberty. The sperm formed are delivered through a vast difference, a tiny fine tube as you have seen. So that particular tube is known as vas deferens, which delivers sperm formed by testes to the further a tube which is coming from urinary bladder. The urethra thus forms a common passage for both the sperm and urine. Along the path of vas deferens, glands like prostate and seminal vesicles add their secretion so that sperm are now fluid, which make their transport easier, and fluid also provide nutrition to the sperm. The sperm are tiny bodies that contains of mainly a genetical material and a long tail that help them to move towards the female germ cell. Okay, next topic is female reproductive system. As you can see in this particular diagram over here, this is an organ which is called testes, which is below the abdominal cavity. It is covered by a scrotum. Testes are 2 to 3 degrees Celsius temperature, lower temperature, which is required for the sperm formation. Once sperm is formed, then these sperms are then travel through vas deferens. Then it will connect with the tube which is coming from urinary bladder. Urinary bladder is a bag which is collecting urine. Okay, then there is a seminal vesicle and prostate gland, which are also a gland which secretes, okay, their secretion into it, which also provide fluidy material for sperm cell to travel. And then you can see the path of penis, and at the end there is a urethra. This is a diagram of male reproductive system. Next is female reproductive system. The female germ cell or eggs are made in ovaries. Ovaries ની અંદર germ cell, ova જે કહીએ, એ generate થાય. They are also responsible for the production of some hormone. Look at the 8.11 and identify various organs in female reproductive system. So there is a ovaries, there is a fallopian tube, there is a uterus, there is a cervix and vagina in female reproductive system. When a girl child is born, the ovaries already contain thousands of immature eggs. On reaching puberty, some of these start maturing. One egg is produced every month by one of the ovaries. The egg is carried from ovary to womb through a thin oviduct or a fallopian tube. Two oviducts unite to an elastic bag-like structure known as the uterus. Uterus open into vagina through the cervix. The sperm enter through vaginal passage during sexual intercourse. They travel upward and reach the oviduct where they encounter the egg. The fertilized egg starts dividing and form a ball of cells or embryo. The embryo is implanted in lining of uterus where they continue to grow and develop organs to become fetus. We have seen in earlier section that mother's body is designed to undertake the development of the child. Hence, the uterus prepare itself every month to receive and nurture the growing embryo. The lining thickens and richly supplied with blood to nourish the growing embryo. The embryo gets nutrition from mother's blood and with the help of special tissue called placenta. This is a disc which is embedded in uterine wall. It contains villi on the embryo side of tissue. In the mother's side are blood spaces which surround the villi. This provides large surface area for glucose, oxygen to pass from mother to the embryo. Developing embryo will also generate waste substance which can be removed by transferring them into mother's blood through placenta. The development of child inside mother's body takes place approximately 9 months. The child is born as a result of rhythmic contraction of muscles in uterus. So, till the time what we have seen is that when female germ cell, which is called ova or egg, when meets to male germ cell, which is called sperm, when these two unites, then there is a formation of zygote. This zygote then sticks to the upper part of uterus, from where it is going to get all the nourishment for this zygote to be converted into an embryo, and embryo would be then rapidly divided and being converted and making organs of the new or young ones. So, for the development of this baby, there is requirement of food, oxygen, and also requirement of waste material. Since there is nothing like you can only intake, if there is an intake, there is outcome or excretion in our body. So, this newly developing embryo will require oxygen and food which is supplied by placenta which is mainly connected to mother's womb with our navel. So, that particular pipe is called placenta. Okay, from there exchange of materials happens. In kids side, that is young one, baby's side, there is a number of villi-like structure for absorption of oxygen and food, and it also creates waste material which is also excreted by this particular site. On the mother's side, there is so many blood filled capillaries are there which are then providing a path for this exchange of nutrition. After approximately 9 months, the baby which is growing inside mother's womb will fully develop its organ, and by rhythmic expansion and contraction of it, that will lead to the birth of the baby or young ones. So, that's all for now. Thank you.